Hi, welcome to the presentation of the new feature JAWS for TNG milestone 3.2. This new feature allows fixtures to accept modular JAWS, which also leads to simpler file maintenance. Now we can just swap in and out of JAWS for our chucks or vice fixtures without having to make a new fixture just because we swapped out a jaw. Next, we have a list of some of the new features. First, we can change the clamp direction. So now instead of having an OD chuck and an ID chuck, we can just have one chuck fixture, and with a simple click of a button in ETNG, we can swap the direction of which that chuck clamps. Second, we can change the clamp position. So depending on the travel limits, maybe you want to extend or make them smaller, you can change the clamping position easily inside the UI. Third, we can do some model positioning. If you saved the solid wrong or you have a uniquely designed chuck fixture, you can position the jaws accordingly. And lastly, you can save assemblies. So now if you have a chuck and let's say you use this chuck consistently and you don't want to keep adding the same jaws over and over to that file, you can right click and save that fixture assembly. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like in ETNG. So you can see here I have my fixture file loaded up. There's nothing different than how we saved fixtures before. The origin still denotes where the workpiece adapter and fixture adapter location is. The only thing different now is I've created some new adapters called JA, and the JA denotes where the jaw adapters will go. And then anything after the underscore is just the name of the jaw adapter. But I labeled it 1, 2, and 3 just to be in numerical order. So let's go see where this first work plane is at. You can see it's located here. And what's important to note is the orientation of that work plane. Z is coming out, and then the X direction denotes how the jaw will travel. So the jaws move in the negative X direction, so keep that in mind. And all I did from there is I rotated this work plane 120 degrees to be located in the same spot on the other slides. From there, all you do is save as, just like you've done before. Save it as a fixture file, and you're done. Let's go ahead and see what jaws look like. So I'm going to go ahead and open this jaw file. Again, like fixtures, you can see Z is coming out, and what's important to note is the X-axis, because that's how this jaw is going to move. We don't need to make any work planes, you just save it as is. So what you do is you go to File, Save As, and if you click down here, you have this new option called Jaw Files. Just call it Jaw and we'll save it there. So let's go ahead and load up a sample file. So we can see in the machine view, I have a legacy chuck here. I need to swap that out for this new fixture that accepts modular jaws. Now when I click on the fixture, we have a new option here called jaws, but since it's a legacy file that doesn't have any of these new jaw adapters in the file, it won't have the feature. So let's swap this out. The new chuck that we created. Click on OK. Since this chuck fixture has those jaw adapter locations, we have this new icon here called jaws. So let's click on that. Let's add the new jaw that we created earlier. And you can see the jaws are added as such. And then each of these jaws has their own positioning, so if one jaw needed to be positioned a little differently than the other, you can do so here. And they also have their own individual clamping directions. Also, you can see we have this fixture property reverse direction, which will swap how the jaws are orientated and the direction on which they clamp. So now we have an OD and ID fixture all in one. And lastly, we have the mating option. So you can mate the jaws into any specific locations that you want if you need something more finite or granular. So for example, if I wanted to move this jaw, I would mate this face and maybe this face. And we'll call them aligned. You can see it's positioned as such. Click on OK. You can see we have this new component here for jaws. Click OK. Everything works through. You see it clamps properly. The file will simulate just fine. So that is the new feature JAWS for ETNG. Thank you for your time and have a good day.